We are going live.
Okay, we are live and we are on YouTube officially. So, with that, I will say hello, everybody. Thank you so very much for clicking on. Hello, everybody. Thank you for clicking on. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the share, hit the notification. Don't hesitate to jump into the chat. Hello, Fred. How are you? We've got Monday night, 11:01 p.m. Still 80 degrees outside at 11 o'clock on the 16th day of June here in the heartland. And we are in the midst of a um, warm, what are they calling? Heat bubble is what they're calling it. A high pressure area that's trapping all the heat in. So that's where we're trapped at the moment and will be for the next several days. So let's not waste anybody's time. Let's talk about what we need to talk about. And that does indeed start with bump stops. Um, since we have last gotten together, other than musically. Um, by the way, I've got a couple of videos of. I'm not even going to recommend them because I've had trouble up there. Never mind. Off topic. Bump stops is the topic. And the Supreme Court ruled that it was unconstitutional to outlaw bump stops. Now, there have been a lot of people that have tried to describe what a bump stop does, how it indeed could possibly be viewed as turning a semi automatic weapon into an automatic machine gun. Um, I've got a pretty good demonstration here that shows you.
Watch here as my hand pulls forward on the barrel of the gun. This brings the trigger up to my stationary trigger finger.
That's
My
what a
finger
bump
never
stop
moves, but
does.
still connects with the trigger due to the forward motion of the gun. The gun then fires, and the recoil brings the gun back to my stationary finger over and over, causing the trigger to be pulled again and again, very quickly until I run out of ammo. Accuracy is severely compromised, but accuracy isn't really the point of full auto. Here's the semi-auto firing rate one more time. My finger was
That's
pulling
still
the trigger
pretty
manually,
fast.
and here it is again, with the currently fully legal bump stock installed on the AR-15.
So there's a brief sample of the difference in and what a bump stop could indeed make. Um, a whole lot. I mean, a whole lot of humorous takes on the recent speech by one of the recent speeches anyway by Donald Trump. He said a lot of stuff, but let's listen to this.
And you're in the boat, and you have this tremendously powerful battery, and the battery's now underwater, and there's a shark that's approximately 10 yards over there. By the way, a lot of shark attacks lately. Do you notice that? A lot of shark. I watched some guys justifying it today. Well, they weren't really that angry. They bit off the young lady's leg because of the fact that they were not hungry, but they misunderstood who she was.
Okay, obviously that was not Donald Trump's voice. That was not Donald Trump giving a speech. That was brief excerpt from Jaws. All right, this is we've got we got serious stuff coming up. I mean, some really serious stuff coming up, and not just in this episode, but coming our way. And in the meantime, a farmer's vegetables kept disappearing, so he set up a trail cam to see who the culprit was. Broccoli. eating some green tomatoes there. All right. I found that amusing. Hopefully you found it a worthy little break. As I said, a lot of takes on Donald Trump's recent speech talking about sharks and batteries and stuff.
Well, maybe you can tell us why.
I say, what would happen if the boat sank from its weight and you're in the boat and you have this tremendously powerful battery and the battery's now underwater and there's a shark that's approximately 10 yards over there. By the way, a lot of shark attacks lately. Do you notice that? A lot of shark. I watched some guys justifying.
In case you don't know, this is from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Here's Jack Nicholson and his Academy Award winning portrayal.
Today. Well, they weren't really that angry. They bit off the young lady's leg because of the fact that they were not hungry, but they misunderstood who she was. These people are crazy. He said there's no problem with sharks. They just didn't really understand a young woman swimming now really got decimated, and other people too. A lot of shark attacks. So I said, so there's a shark 10 yards away from the boat, 10 yards, or here. Do I get electrocuted if the boat is sinking, water goes over the battery, the boat is sinking? Do I stay on top of the boat and get electrocuted, or do I jump over by the shark and not get electrocuted? He didn't know the answer. He said, nobody's ever asked me that question. I said, I think it's a good question. I think there's a lot of electric current coming through that water. But you know what I'd do if there was a shark or you get electrocuted? I'll take electrocution every single time. I'm not getting
you're
near
so
the shark.
fucking dumb. I can't believe
All right. Marjorie Taylor Greene, we got her.
President Trump in prison. They want to put him in prison. How do you think we're all going to feel about the Republicans in Washington when they put President Trump in prison?
Okay.
They are going.
Oh.
They are going.
Marge, hush. We got more coming from you. We got more coming from her. Once again, just another little reminder of some of the funny things.
And there's a shark that's approximately 10 yards over there. By the way, a lot of shark attacks lately. Do you notice that? A lot of shark. I watched some guys justifying it today. Well, they weren't really that angry. They bit off the young lady's leg because of the fact that they were not hungry, but they misunderstood who she was. And
okay. Back to some incredibly serious stuff. Yeah, notorious for taking federal lands and occupying them and having a standoff, and members of their family getting killed, and another member of the family's I don't know, last time I saw I think he was on the run because the government was about to take everything he had. And this guy, this is Cliven Bundy. This is one of the Bundys. And he just happens to be talking about somebody that we've mentioned on here several times before. Ivan Ranklin.
In jail, never. And then they finally got us in court after 2 years. And the government put 4 witnesses up and we sort of had them whipped, I guess. We never even put a witness up. And they decided that they better get out of the deal. They did.
Actually, they didn't show up for court. They refused to participate. Not only did they not put any witnesses up in their own behalf, but they weren't participating in court. The Bundys, they have stacks upon stacks of documents that they never opened. So since they never opened it, it's claimed that it was never delivered there, and that doesn't work.
Too much rotten stuff. But more or less just misconduct of the government attorneys.
So you got all the names of these guys?
Oh yeah, they're all listed.
Do I need to add them to my list?
Well, I don't know what you do with them, but you probably could.
I would conduct the most peaceful and patriotic, legal and moral and ethical actions that they've ever experienced in their life. That's what I would like to do.
Well, there's a couple of things. We really don't have much of a justice system left in this country.
I never said we did.
And so when you start trying to play their game in their courts, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, I never said that we would play it in court. I said that I want to provide them the most legal, moral, ethical, peaceful, and patriotic experience ever that they've faced in their entire life. Maybe that humanity has ever witnessed.
Well, that sounds good. I sort of fed them a little of that myself.
This is one of the mass execution guys, just so you know, and also a suspect in the pipe bombing, along with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Spokesman for the Israeli Defense Force released an English-spoken statement talking about the current situation in the north of the country. Remember, Chris and I've talked about this. First, the thing would be to wipe out Gaza and then begin on the West Bank and East Jerusalem, make sure that those areas were cleansed in the Zionist words of any remaining Palestinians. And once the war cannot end, because if the war ends, Benjamin Netanyahu will be subject to prison. So if you don't want criminals in your government, don't vote them in. Here's what Israel's saying right now.
The Hezbollah terror organization in Lebanon has been escalating its attacks against Israel. Since deciding to join the war that Hamas, Hezbollah has fired over 5,000 rockets, anti-tank missiles, and explosive UAVs from Lebanon at Israeli families, homes, and communities. Hezbollah's increasing aggression is bringing us to the brink of what could be a wider escalation, one that could have devastating consequences for Lebanon and the entire region. Hezbollah is jeopardizing the future of Lebanon so that it can be a shield for Hamas, a shield for the Hamas terrorists, the one that murdered the elderly, raped women, burned children, and kidnapped Jews, Muslims, and Christians during their massacre on October 7th. When we say that we will not let October 7th happen again on any one of our borders, we mean it. Because of Hezbollah's refusal to comply with UN Security Council Resolution 1701, because of Hezbollah's military infrastructure, weapons, and fire at Israel from the area south of the Litani River in southern Lebanon, and because of Lebanon's failure to enforce 1701 on Hezbollah, Israel will take the necessary measures to protect its civilians until security along our border with Lebanon is restored. One way or another, we will ensure the safe and secure return of Israelis to their homes in northern Israel. This is not up for negotiation. Iran's terror proxies continue to drag the region to destruction. Israel will continue fighting against Iran's axis of evil on all fronts, in Gaza, in Lebanon, in other fronts, as we work towards a more secure future for the entire Middle East. October 7th cannot, will not happen again on any one of Israel's border. Israel has a duty to defend the people of Israel. We will fulfill that duty at all costs.
Again, as we often say on here, when somebody tells you something, um, believe at least that they mean to put the fan towards the dog. The dog jumps out of its crate, pushes the fan towards its crate where it's going to lay down, shut itself back in, and rest in the coolness. Just a reminder that it is incredibly hot out in many areas of the United States and the world. Told you we'd have more from Marge. Well, let's just listen to this first.
November 4th, 2020 is when the real civil war in this country started. They stole the election. They stole it. I'm from Georgia. I knew Georgia voted for Donald John Trump. I knew it. And so I called up some of my friends. I called up Jim Jordan. I called up Matt Gaetz. I called up some others. And I said, we got to get together and do something about this. And then I found out that as a member of Congress, I can object to electoral college votes. And so I organized with many of my colleagues. There was well over 130 of us. I called senators and asked them to object with us on January 6th. I worked diligently on that, and I'm very proud of it. I'm proud that I objected to Joe Biden's electoral college votes on January 6th.
Okay, we'll remember that. History will remember that. This is why isn't this a bigger story? Marjorie Taylor Greene proudly bragged that she was the one who organized to interfere with the peaceful transfer of power on January 6th. This isn't a Democratic or Republican issue. It's assaulting our democracy in broad daylight. And that's not the only time that this has happened by any stretch of the imagination. It's just the most recent. This is okay. I don't want the music. I wanted to pause it. This is a reminder to not run from the police. Number one, don't put yourself in a position where you have to interact with the police in any way, shape, or form. But if you do not run from them. It generally does not end up well, as we will see in this. Again, I'm not going to have the volume up. She just decides as he's writing her a ticket, she's going to take off her purse. Everything's on the back all. And she decides she's going to tear down and escape. And all she does is end up tearing her car, ripping her car, literally ripping her car in half, and not getting away. Let's just put it that way. So don't be stupid. All right. Don't do stupid things and win stupid prizes. Do not be a doofus. Watch Doofus. Do not be a doofus. This will be, oh, this is no big deal. What's the big deal about this? This is the announcement of White Boy Summer that happened officially this past weekend at in Detroit, Michigan, of all places, to launch White Boy Summer. But that's where they did it, at the Turning Point conference. And well, look for this phrase to be predominant throughout this coming summer.
From evil.
Okay, you get the idea. They march around, White Boy Summer banner, throwing White Boy Summer pink, White Boy Summer hats, pink hats with the White Boy Summer lettering. So look for that. Look for that branding, that messaging, and that potential toxicity to be coming in areas near all of us. Um, Last time we talked, I mentioned and we discussed a little bit about the Russian naval fleet that was in Havana Harbor in Cuba. Well, this morning, that fleet, that Russian fleet, suddenly, I guess you would call, made a break for it towards American waters.
Papa November, Jeff, are you doing operational work at Ignix today? Okay, for 031 for nautical miles from U.S. territory. We'll be chopping your regard. Also, assuming you're not talking to Havana Center at all.
Okay,
Papa November, Jeff, are you doing operational work at Ignix today? Okay, for 031 for nautical miles from U.S. territory. We'll be chopping your regard.
okay, there. He's asking him if he's making his normal runs today, and he says, no, we'll be going with due regard. They are near American waters, followed by silence. That was 10 hours ago. Just a reminder, the Russian Navy is less than 50 miles to sea outside of U.S. territory. And also a reminder that Donald Trump is a complete and absolute when it comes to, it was Father's Day yesterday. Happy Father's Day to those of you that are fathers. And just a reminder of what this guy really is. And again, it says so much more about the people that support him than it does himself. And it says a lot about himself.
She does have a very nice figure. I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know.
Okay, Ivanka, what's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
If I weren't happily married and, her father.
My daughter,
is.
Ivanka.
Yeah.
She's 6 feet tall. She's got the best body.
By the way, your daughter,
She's beautiful.
can I say this? A piece of ass.
Yeah.
She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
It's
She's
unbelievable.
tall. She's almost 6 feet.
You going up the escalator? I'm going to be dating her in 10 years. Can you believe it? She does have a very nice figure. I've said that.
Speaking of Father's Day, nothing like nothing's brawl between it's 2024. I'm not surprised that people are just beating the crap out of each other everywhere, including the golf course. But nonetheless, a reminder: Happy Father's Day, everybody. This is a reminder of fires his employees, saying that, quote, "We are not on black time. Let's listen into this awkward elevator ride that happened to be recorded." Here we go.
Yeah, you're fine. That's not really.
Yeah, but I let you guys know ahead of time that was.
Yeah, you could get off here.
I had a family emergency.
You can get off right here. You're fine.
I had a family.
Give your name tag in the front desk. You
What?
don't work here anymore. Yeah.
I put my work in for this job. What you mean? I'm
Showing up 4
fired.
hours too late? No, you
I had a family emergency. My grandmother.
Well,
got
then you could
passed.
tell someone. You don't just show up 4 hours too late.
I'm not fired. All right, so can I get my check or something?
Yeah, we'll mail it to you.
Mail it
Just
to
get
me.
off right here.
I need money today. Then, if you guys gonna fire me for no reason, press 8, please. No, that's not fair. What happened? Oh, that's not fair.
Look, I pressed the lobby for you. You can get off there.
Oh my god.
Yeah, see you.
Oh my god, no.
See you.
I'm not. No.
Yeah, we're not running on black people, Tom. Get off the elevator.
Excuse me. What?
You heard
Excuse
me?
How about
Haitian
this?
equal.
You want
This
to see
isn't the
black
ghetto.
people?
You don't take.
You want to see black
Yeah,
people?
you don't take
How
shit
about
off of me.
How about you give me
Yo.
your money? How about you give me your money then? How about that?
It's a,
How about that? How about that?
there's no. I'm not. I don't have money on me.
No, how about
seriously.
that? How about that? Give me your money.
Gene, you're acting a fool.
I don't care. You're being racist. What do you mean?
I'm not being
How
racist.
about that? You want me to act
I
black?
told
You want
you.
me to act like a monkey? Like this is
Nobody's right, right? There are situations where nobody's right. And in that situation, nobody was right, but it should have been handled a lot differently. Let's just put it that way. Now, they are not. This is after the White Boy Summer was announced, and this is also in Detroit. This is a guy named Nick Fuentes. And this is an event he had that since he was basically kicked out of the other racist event. So he had his own racist event, and there's music playing that I cannot play because of the copyright. But basically, you could figure out probably what he's saying about how this is our like security guard the finger. He points to both of them saying, I'm watching both of you, and this guy's telling him to F off. And this guy, he misses his face, but he hits his hat. And this guy just goes full on Iron Man off of the stage, breaks this one dude's tooth out. They take out a whole bunch of these people. And it's just a reminder that things are going to come with consequences. When you declare White Boy Summer, there will be some consequences to that. And it's not necessarily going to be what everybody thinks it's going to be. I'm just going to say that. I'm not going to get into all of it right now, but people start thinking about what is happening, because there are things happening here. President Joe Biden's trip to Los Angeles. All right, keep that in mind. Secret Service agent robbed at gunpoint while he's with Biden this weekend at a fundraiser in LA. He wasn't with Biden at the time he was robbed. Okay, while he was traveling, I believe he was off duty, and he was probably somewhere he shouldn't have been. But nonetheless, if Secret Service agents are getting robbed, what's it say about you and me? I'm just one of those something to think about moments. All right. This is a cute little thing from England that is our pub gag from Great Britain. I don't think it has any music in it. Let me see.
Watch for the hold it.
Okay, what you can't see here is that the young dude is turning the stem of the mechanism just slightly.
Oh, he's going on over there. Bastard.
Okay, just an example that you can do funny stuff to people, you know? You don't have to beat on people. You don't have to stab people. You don't have to shoot people. Um, anyway, all right. This is from Katie Hopkins, and he has to say about White Boy Summer.
Trump will win in an 82 million landslide. Not only will Donald Trump win in an 82 million landslide, but if they try and take it from him, if they try and put Biden in, I've spoken to great people in Portland, in Florida, and they say, we're all in, we're done. We will fight, we will join the militia, and we'll fight back. So,
Really?
Yeah, America's gearing up for the fight. There's going to be a showdown.
That's what I was always thinking. Like,
coming.
we can't let it
The
happen.
storm is coming. It's really hot. Almost as hot as me.
The Q story.
It's not as hot as you.
It's hot. Well, come on. The storm is coming.
And they're just going to flirt, you know? They're announcing that they're not going to accept when Trump gets beat, and they're going to war. I don't know, you know. I don't know. Honestly, I do not know how this country is standing around just acting like everything's fucking okay. It's not. None of this is. And the adults ought to all get together and go, stop this freaking bullshit now. Sorry. All right. Our final little segment of the night to just remind everybody that if you have not had a crazy,
Why are you acting like that?
if you have not had a crazy person in your life, here's what it's like.
Man X shows up at door because he didn't text her.
I've had to come all the way here on my day off just because you haven't texted me.
Sorry, what?
Why are you acting like that?
Well, because you. But why are you here?
Because you haven't said anything to me for the past 2 weeks. I've literally
Okay.
been going exist no more. Have you seen me?
Okay, but you told me to not contact you anymore.
That doesn't mean don't contact me. Are you dumb? Like, are you actually thick?
You said to me you would appreciate no further contact. You broke up with me.
That was me then. That doesn't mean you don't speak to me for 2 weeks to even care about my life. I could be dead for all you know. And you just don't care. You don't care about my family. You don't care about my much.
Okay,
And
hold
you
a minute,
actually-
yeah? How am I supposed to contact you, yeah, when you've blocked me? You blocked me off Instagram. You blocked my phone. How else am I supposed to contact you?
You're acting like you don't know where I live. You could have come. You could have emailed me. I've got another Instagram. I've got 3 Instagram accounts and you haven't contacted me. How dare you?
What do you mean, how dare I? You blocked me. You told me to not contact you.
I've literally been waiting for 2 weeks and you still haven't said anything to me. I'm heartbroken.
But hold a minute, yeah, because when I tried to message you and when I tried to call you, you just ignored me. I sent you
I can't
text
do
after text after text after text, and then you sent me a big whole paragraph, yeah, explaining, saying, oh, the feelings aren't the same anymore, and now you'd appreciate for me to leave you alone.
I don't know why you hate me so much. Like,
I
if
don't
you
hate
really
you.
hate this,
I don't hate you. Like, I'm just trying to move on.
you should have just killed me. I've been waiting 2 weeks. I could have been doing something else. I could have started dating again. No, I spent all of my time waiting on you to text me back. Oh, I've come all this way and you couldn't even just come and knock at my door and speak to me face to face.
Well, because you live an hour away.
Just because I blocked you doesn't mean you're actually blocked. What's wrong with you?
But you told me to leave you alone.
This is why I hate men. I don't know why I even bother with you.
Why?
Honestly.
Why? Hold a minute, yeah. What? I've done nothing wrong. You told me to leave you alone. I've left you alone now. And now what?
If someone told you to jump off a cliff, would you jump off a cliff? I told you to block me. It doesn't mean that you literally need to block me and never speak to me ever again.
But I'm trying to give you what you want.
That is not what I want, though. How many times do I have to tell you what I want?
But the thing is, I don't know what you want. That's the thing. That's why I just left you alone, because you told me you want me to leave you alone, and I've left you alone.
No, you can't even come and show your face. You can't even come downstairs and speak to me.
Well,
How
yeah,
dare
because
you?
I don't want to.
I hate you so much.
What do you want me to do?
Unblock me.
But you blocked me.
Well, I mean, you're unblocked. Hold on, I'll do it right now.
I don't know. I don't know if that is a general statement of our country, of the world. That would, of course, was in Britain, but if the guy did this, it would be harassment, and he would be the topic of the group chat and probably in jail. You know, she said, "Why didn't you come over to my house?" Well, you said leave you alone. If you go over to her house after she says leave you alone, you're going to get arrested for stalking and threatening and who knows what else. So just a reminder, too many crazy people in the world, too many angry people in the world, too many violent people in the world, too many people in the world that do not care. And it's going to be tolling on the rest of us. It is going to toll upon the rest of us. And that's about all I got for tonight. You know, I wish I had sunshine and rainbows and lollipops and was pooping snowballs out my butt, but that's not what's happening. So all of that being said, we will catch you Wednesday night, if not before. More than likely, it will not be before Wednesday night, but we'll be doing it Wednesday night, along about the same time. Hope you'll be joining us. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the share, and we'll talk to you next time. I love you all like chocolate chip cookies. I mean that sincerely, almost as much as a chocolate chip cookie. And I'm going to go have one of them right now. It's a dark world. Be a light. I love y'all. Thanks for watching.